Hey everyone, welcome to today's deep dive. We're talking food service. You hear about all these restaurant jobs out there
It
and
feels like everybody's hiring right now.
exactly. But is it all it's cracked up to be? We're going to dig into that with some cool resources from RoleCatcher.
They've got these in-depth career guides, interview tips.
Even stuff about how to use AI to find a job.
It's wild. And it's not just about knowing how to cook anymore. The industry's changing so fast.
So if you're thinking about a career in food, this is the deep dive for you. Let's jump in. What's it really like to work in a restaurant kitchen these days?
Well, I'll give RoleCatcher credit. They don't sugarcoat it. They say straight up, it's not just about the food.
Okay, hold on. What else is there? You're in a kitchen, there's food.
You'd think so, right? But they highlight all this other stuff that's just as important, like inventory.
Inventory.
Yeah, like making sure you don't run out of ingredients at the worst possible time. Can you imagine Friday night slammed and suddenly you've got no more tomatoes for the orders?
Oh, that's brutal. I'd hate to be that restaurant.
Exactly. So managing all that, that's crucial. And then there's the whole keeping things spotless thing.
Yeah, hygiene's got to be super important in the kitchen.
Absolutely. RoleCatcher emphasizes that a lot. They're really big on how vital cleanliness is, especially these days. And then there's the pace.
Okay, yeah, everyone says it's a fast-paced environment.
Yeah.
But, how fast are we talking?
Think about the busiest rush you've ever seen in a restaurant. Now imagine being in that every day. Orders flying in, tickets printing, people shouting. It's a lot.
That sounds intense. Maybe not for everyone, right?
You got to have the stamina for sure. But they also point out that it teaches you some seriously valuable skills.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, when you're in the weeds like that, you learn to think on your feet. Multitasking, problem solving, communication, that's all essential.
And those are skills you can use anywhere, right? Even if you're not, a chef forever.
Exactly. So even though it's demanding, RoleCatcher makes it clear that food service work can really build you up.
So we've talked about the individual skills, but what about the bigger picture? What trends are shaping the future of food service, and how can understanding those trends give you a leg up?
And that's where these RoleCatcher resources really come in handy. They're not stuck in the past.
You're looking ahead?
Exactly. They give you a glimpse into what's coming down the line.
Okay, I love a good glimpse into the future. What kind of food trends are we talking about here?
Well, get ready to see a lot more plant-based stuff on menus. And I'm not talking about just your basic salad bar.
Yeah, plant-based is getting pretty huge.
Huge is an understatement. Think tofu, lentils, mushrooms. They're becoming like the stars of the show.
So for someone working in a kitchen, that means having to learn a whole new set of skills.
Absolutely. It's a whole different ball game than just grilling a steak.
Right. It's like a whole other culinary language.
Exactly. And it ties into this whole locally sourced ingredient trend that's really taking off.
Yeah, people want to know where their food comes from.
And restaurants are paying attention. They're building relationships with local farmers, highlighting those connections on their menus.
It's like you're not just a line cook anymore. You're part of this whole ecosystem.
I love that. You're part of a community. And speaking of connections, let's not forget about technology.
Oh, right. Technology in restaurants. What's RoleCatcher saying about that?
It's huge. Online ordering, delivery apps, that's just the tip of the iceberg. They're talking about things like automated kitchen equipment.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking robots in the kitchen now?
You'd be surprised. It's becoming more common than you might think.
Wow. That's a lot to take in. So with all this change happening, what skills should someone entering the industry today be focusing on?
RoleCatcher is big on adaptability. Things are changing so quickly that you have to be ready to learn new stuff all the time.
That makes sense. Imagine if you're scared of technology.
You'd be in trouble. Being comfortable with tech is almost as important as knowing your way around a kitchen these days.
Wow. It's like food service is this fusion of old school skills and cutting edge tech.
I know. It's kind of mind-blowing. And speaking of mind-blowing, RoleCatcher dropped this stat about job growth in the industry, 11% over the next decade.
11%. That's massive.
It is way higher than a lot of other fields. So, yeah, there are going to be a lot of opportunities out there.
Okay, so let's say you land one of those jobs. What's next? How do you actually move up in this industry? So how do you actually get your foot in the door? I mean, restaurant interviews can be kind of intimidating.
Oh, tell me about it. I've heard stories.
Right, what if they make you fillet a fish on the spot or something?
Thankfully, RoleCatcher takes a slightly less stressful approach.
Okay, good. So what do they suggest? How do they help you prepare for those interviews?
Well, they've got this whole section on interview questions.
Yeah.
But it's not just the basic stuff like, tell me about yourself.
It's got to be more than that, right?
Yeah.
Everyone expects those.
Exactly. They give you these really specific scenario-based questions, the kind that really make you think on your feet. Oh, I love those. It's like a little test run.
Totally.
Oh.
Like they might ask, what happens if you burn an order during the dinner rush? How do you handle it?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd probably panic.
Right. Or imagine this. You're working the line, and a customer sends back their food, says it's not cooked right. How do you respond?
Man, that's pressure. Especially with a line of hungry people waiting.
See? Those are the situations RoleCatcher prepares you for. It's like having insider knowledge so you don't freeze up.
Okay, that's super helpful. But don't they also have that whole AI thing? I feel like we can't talk about RoleCatcher without mentioning AI.
You're right. It's a big part of what they do. And honestly, it's pretty amazing. They use AI to actually analyze your interview answers.
Like, you record yourself answering those practice questions.
Yep. Or if you're doing a video interview, it can even pick up on things like your body language.
No way. So it's like having a virtual coach right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can tell you if you're like saying like too much or
We all have our things. Right. It gives you that extra level of feedback you wouldn't get otherwise.
that's incredible. I mean, you can practice with a friend, but it's not the same.
Not even close. And RoleCatcher doesn't stop there. They use AI and data to help you tailor your resume, target the right companies, the whole 9 yards.
So it's like having this whole team of career experts in your corner.
That's a great way to put it, and it just goes to show that knowledge is power. Especially in a competitive field like food service, RoleCatcher gives you that edge.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. We've covered everything from the nitty-gritty of working in a kitchen to the tech that's shaping the future of food.
It really shows you that a career in food service is about so much more than just knowing how to cook. It's about passion, adaptability.
And having the right tools and resources to succeed.
Exactly. So to everyone out there listening, whether you're a seasoned chef or just starting out, the food world needs your talent, your creativity.
And with the right preparation, who knows, maybe you'll be the one inventing the next big food craze.
Now that's something I'd love to see.
Until next time, happy cooking, everyone.